Hello, this is the second video in the JavaScript ASIT video series. And today, in this video, you might be watching them back to back, so it might not be today. Anyway, this video is going to be about the DOM. If you're following the AS level, the A-level textbook, the official Cambridge one from Paul Long, Sarah Laurie, and Victoria Ellis, they don't really mention the DOM at all. And the syllabus doesn't specifically mention it either. But I think it's vital in understanding what you're doing with JavaScript and sort of understanding how everything links together. Because otherwise you're kind of mysteriously changing things, and I don't think it's very productive without knowing about the DOM. Similarly, if you do any independent study on this, if you look up any JavaScript tutorials online, if you do any other things like that, chances are they will talk about the DOM. So it's worth knowing what it means, what it's about. If you really want to stick to the syllabus only, you can skip this, but I will talk about some stuff that will be useful, so I would stay with us. So in this video we're going to talk about documents, we're going to talk about objects, and we're going to talk about the combination of the two in the DOM. So the DOM stands for the Document Object Model, and the idea is that we can represent documents as an object, and then we can use JavaScript to modify our document. And those words alone don't mean a lot. So we'll look at it, we'll break it down. So first of all, we'll start with the document. And in HTML, not this one. In HTML, a document is essentially anything, it's essentially your HTML content. Your HTML creates a document. You create an HTML document written in hypertext markup language. And everything in it, the tags, the metadata, the head components, the title, the style sheets, any inline styles, basically anything you add to your HTML is a part of that document. And that's what we're referring to when we talk about document. It's all the HTML. And we know about modifying HTML, we know about changing HTML to create web pages. And last video I showed you can use JavaScript to do that. But natively, without help, JavaScript doesn't understand documents. JavaScript is an object-oriented language, which means it works with objects. And as standard, a document isn't an object. So I'll show you an object, which will hopefully help illustrate this point. I've created a document about an object about me. As a side note, by the way, in no way endorsed, I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but REPL.it is an excellent website for testing your JavaScript code. You get an online interpreter, and you can test your code, you can test new things you want to try out, just in a safe cloud-based environment. You don't need to set up anything on your own computer. It's just super quick, super easy, and I recommend it highly. So this, as I say, is an object I've created about me. My object is called Kevin. This is identifier. You'll identify, you know it's an object if it's wiggly brackets, mustache brackets. So Kevin is an object, is equal to an object, and it has a number of, each object has a number of properties. So Kevin has a property name, it has a property age, it has a property family. If you're following this quickly, you'll notice family is also an object, which has the properties mother, father, wife, and son. I have another property that teaches that contains an array, and finally another property that contains a function. In the future, we'll go over data types more, so if you don't quite know the difference between these things, the next video we will talk about it. But at the moment, you can see each property has a different value assigned to it. And a large part of JavaScript is about modifying and accessing parts of your objects. So for example, if I wanted to output my name, I can access Kevin, which is the name of the Kevin object, as declared here. And if I do kevin.name, and then I run this, I'll output my name. If I do kevin.age, outputs my age. And finally, if I do kevin.family.wife, it will output the name of my wife. This one's a bit stranger because it's a function in itself and it does the console log. We can do Kevin dot what is your profession, and it will say I teach IT computer science. Another thing you can do with these objects, and a thing you will be doing a lot in JavaScript, is modifying your objects. So if I do Kevin.name equals Kelvin, as Starbucks believes my name to be, then when I console.log Kevin.name and run it, you'll see my name is now Kelvin. You can not only access these things, you can also change them in your JavaScript. So going back to the overview, documents are essentially your HTML, and everything you write on that page is your document. Your objects are the code that JavaScript understands, and what JavaScript requires in order to sort of allow you to process information. The DOM is your HTML document converted into a JavaScript object, essentially, and your browser will do this automatically. So you can access the elements of your DOM through JavaScript, and that will give you all the components on your page. And this is why it was important to use IDs. So I'll give you a quick overview, I'll give you a quick idea of this, and then we'll do a proper video about modifying the DOM. But I had this example here. This will not be gone. This is my heading. So I've created a HTML document that just contains one header, one H1, and that's the whole document. I've then created a script, and I'll talk you through this. So my script, when you are working with JavaScript attached to a web page like this, you're given an object called document. Document is a really big object, but in essence it contains everything in here, and then a whole bunch of functions as well to modify and change it. So document, in its code, buried in the document, there's a method called write, and what that does is appends any text to your document. So if I save this now, and I preview this in the browser, it'll say hello, and I'll attach that on. So that's a sort of overview of this. I will do another video now showing you, in the next video, I'll show you how to modify elements of the DOM using JavaScript. Okay, see you in the next video.